Number 79, Thursday, April 17, 2025, 9:22 p.m. New York time. Uno 5 is now live. Streaming American Truck Simulator. Number 79, Thursday, April 17, 2025, 9:22 p.m. New York time.
Warning. Go live. Signing, please wait. Hot Spring, Arkansas DLC. I think I went there. Remember that? Remember that. This is special, like a forested area, park area with hot springs, hot water springs. So let's go and see where we can drive. Navigation, quick travel. So we'll have a couple of cities here. Yeah, we could do one more in Wyoming. We got 3 in Montana. Then we can do 3 in Idaho. And the rest were more advanced except for Missouri. So we're gonna take one before we do a quick travel. We go to, wait a second, we went there, but it's just that there's no, there's no garage in Cody to do quick travel. So we do have 3 towns here. We could just get another one, wherever, Casper probably. We'll have Cheyenne. So I guess Casper or Rollin would be probably Casper, I guess. This is the main highway here. Highway 6. So this would be our freight market we can try. Casper, 109 miles. That's pretty short and sweet. Moving container. Nice. Empty pallets. Pays more. This is $3.02 per mile. More than 55 cents a mile. Riverton, Casper. 113, so that still pays the most. And this one, the corn, actually we could do that. That pays more. 115 miles. Scaffolding. Live cattle pays the most. Actually, we could do that again. Or actually, crawler tractor pays the most, but it's weight. Yeah, weight's the same. So we're gonna do the crawler tractor. It's rail export. These guys are only one, plaster and sun, Starbridge, empty pallet, Steeler, moving container. So we're gonna take that and then begin delivery wherever we are. Shoptown, there's different places. Where's Shoptown here? Oh, it's right here. We're in Shoptown. So let's see the map. Oh, we're not in Shoptown. So what's the deal? Is there on the left. Okay, let's go.
Okay, here we go.
Bit on the right, left, turn right, yeah. Let's see where we're far to the left, so we gotta go to the right. Oh, we're almost there. We can try. Maybe. Keep in. Okay, let's see. We're on the left. So let's go right.
Time to hit the road.
That's what I thought. We're very close. We're just a bit left. It's already coupled. Okay, remember if I right. That's good. Wiper is good. Okay, so we're gonna turn right here.
ready to turn right. Turn right.
Okay, which state are we in? We're in the state of Cheyenne is Wyoming, I believe. Let's see. Yes, it is. Okay, so let's go. Where are we now? We're in Riverton. Riverton. We're going to Casper. Riverton, Wyoming. Okay. To Casper. Hmm.
283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website. Go to asarx.com. All right, let's jump in and talk to Terry. Hi, Terry.
Well, I'm doing a blood type diet where you eat according to your blood type, and it says under every blood type that coconut's not good for us under any blood type. And so, and I also looked it up on my phone, is, like coconut or coconut oil good for us? And one study says it is, and then the other study that says it isn't is something about saturated fat, and the strand of saturated fat is not good for our heart. And so I just want to know the truth to see if the diet that I'm on is correct, and then also the other study that said it's not good. I just want the truth to know if anyone knows if it's beneficial for us or not. It's kind of conflicting information. So anyway, that's all my question is, if it's coconut oil, coconut pure is good for us because of the diet, the blood type diet that I'm on.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, it's a great question.
KVOW 1450 AM Talk of Fremont.
I mean, Dr. Diamond, he did research on that, and there's been research done on it even before him, which he did a good job with it, really did. And there's some benefits to some of that, but I'll tell you this: coconut oil, from everything, there's a lot of conflicting information. You're right, and I think you got to look at where the sources are of that conflicting information,
safe.
like who's benefiting from that conflicting, or who's trying to tear it down. There's a big game going on. It's all about it's a game of different people doing research and who believes who and who has the better research. But if you look at the mechanics of coconut oil and coconut, I mean, the benefits are so high across the board in every way that it's a no-brainer. So I would encourage you. I mean, I do coconut oil. I'm a huge fan of it. It's in my book.
Let's
I teach
do
it.
this.
And I eat it. I use it. I cook with it. And it's a major part of my diet. And I think coconut oil, because it's a what we call a medium chain triglyceride, MCT. So it's a fat, but it burns in the body like a carbohydrate. So it's really unique in how it works.
Get ready to
But
turn
it's
right.
great for getting your calories up if you're trying to keep calories up while you're going like a low carb or something like that. It really helps. But coconut oil is antifungal too, and it's got anti-yeast. So if you've got all that kind
Turn
of stuff
right.
going on in the gut, coconut oil is essential because it comes in and really helps to break a lot of that down and make a difference in that way. So those are the things you got to look at and kind of understand. The coconuts are really good for you. I think they're just more than anything a superfood. There's so many benefits to them. They also really help with thyroid function, help regulate thyroid function and how well it does. I mean, all of that plays a role. So you really have to look at, they can say, well, it's a saturated fat. It's going to make you have a heart attack.
Caution,
No,
please
it's not.
mind the speed limit.
Okay, we need saturated fats to make our omega-3 fats, the monounsaturated fats. We need the saturated fat to even make the other work. Like if you just have all non-saturated fats, you've got to have saturated fats for everything to work right. So you have to have them. So I'm a big fan. I think it's beneficial, and I think it works really well to help restore the body in a lot of ways.
Go straight
I hope
on.
that helps. And again, I talk a lot about that in my book. And you can pick up a hard copy of my book. Just go to myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com. You can find it there, and I think it would be an encouragement to you. It's free. We send it to you. You just got to cover the shipping. Okay. So do that, and I think that'll be a good place for you to start because it really does. The coconut oil, I think, is extremely beneficial. 20 addictive foods. We're going to go through those. You think you're hooked? You think you're addicted to food? Most people don't. And then you take the food away from them for a week and watch them freak out, right? So if you have an issue, there's foods that kind of fit in these categories. The different categories for food addictions go like this. So there's chocolate and there's French fries, and these are both high in fat and refined carbohydrate and sugar. Then there's cheese and bacon, which is high in fat but not refined carbohydrates and sugar. Pretzels and soda, high in refined, everything that's on an airplane, right? So high in refined carbohydrates and sugar but not fat. Broccoli and chicken, low in fat, low in refined carbohydrates and sugar. So in general, the researchers found that this is what they used in the study, by the way. They used these categories. So how many of you think the chicken and broccoli people were all excited? They were not excited, I can promise you.
Jesus Christ.
So in general, the researchers found that processed foods high in fat and having high glycemic load were the most frequently associated with the addictive eating behaviors. And the glycemic load measures how quickly a standard serving of a particular food will spike
There's
your
nothing
blood
wrong
sugar.
with the track.
There was an interesting
Why
exception,
is
they
it
said.
stalling?
And the researchers found that men had more of a problem with some of the processed foods, like steaks, the nuts, the cheeses, than the women did. They actually had more of an issue with that. And here's the list. We're going to go down the list of the foods that they used in this study. But it was pizza, chocolate, chips, cookies, ice cream, French fries, cheeseburger, soda, cake, cheese, bacon, fried chicken, rolls, popcorn, butter, of course, breakfast cereal, gummy candy, steak, muffins, nuts, and eggs. Okay? And they said although some of the foods in the list were unprocessed, the researchers observed that the processing tends to result in higher concentration of addictive substances in food with the addition of fat, carbs, and sugar. So in other words, the dose of fat and sugar you get in a cake or pizza is much higher than you would find in nature. For sure.
Go straight on.
No doubt about it. So these are some of the most addictive foods they have, and I'll have this list on the website if you want to go to asarx.com and go into our blog section, and you'll be able to see that. We've got all these health articles there that we put out every week, and you can go there and find it, and then, of course, get everything you need. Find whatever you need. That's where all the articles and that's where everything is that can really help you along the way. So I want to encourage you to go check that out. Okay, big deal when it comes to food addiction, and we're seeing it more and more than ever. Food addictions are a big deal. Food addictions play a big role. Food addictions are really the biggest challenge, I think. As we talk about drugs and alcohol and cigarettes, I think food is the greatest addiction, because once everybody gets off the other ones, what do they turn to? They turn to food. Nobody turns to like fitness for the most part to get all amped up and be addicted, right? I mean, I'm probably addicted to fitness. I work out 6 days a week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. Is that an addiction? I don't know. I just feel good.
Reroute.
And I got to teach you guys this stuff, so I have to be the ultimate. I have to be the guy doing all that, right? So that's a big key. But I would
Finding
encourage
a
you
new
to
route.
look at what's an addiction, what's not, and really start working on your habits, because your habits are going to make the biggest difference overall. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Let's get over to Virginia. Hi, Virginia. Virginia, you with us?
I have a problem with bloating and gas. Can you tell me something natural that I can do for that situation? I don't know what's causing the gas and the bloating.
It's a great question. It really is, because bloating is something that I think so many people struggle with. And it sounds so simple. You're like, well, I just feel so bloated. A lot of people are bloated. Bloating is like, it should be considered a health challenge. It really is. So what happens is the gut, the bacteria in the gut gets out of balance. And so you can build up things like yeast or fungal issues or heavy metals. You can build up those kind of things. Heavy metals, a lot of times not so much, but the yeast and fungal issues for sure. And then if the bacteria gets out of balance, that's where everything really starts to kick in. So probiotics is 30 billion, maybe 40 billion in per capsule. Digestive enzymes are really good. Hydrochloric acid, which you can help stimulate with apple cider vinegar, because sometimes the bloating is your body not being able to break down proteins very well, and the apple cider vinegar is a great way to do that. So I think you have to get your diet right. So get a copy of my book, myfreehealthbook.com.
Never mind.
It's free.
I'll find a new route.
myfreehealthbook.com. And the anti-inflammatory diet is in there, and it will be a real blessing.
Let's find a new route.
Okay, keep me posted how it goes. This is Asa, RX. It's Asa here. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Do you need a new prescription for your life? I have a special gift for all my listeners. I'm giving away a free copy of my international best-selling book to help you truly live your potential. All you have to do is cover the shipping and handling, and I will give you the book absolutely free. I want to invest in you and your health this year. Hi, this is Dr. Asa to talk to you about the world's best protein for longevity called Best Amino. Protein is essential for every cell in your body to function at its absolute best. Best Amino is the highest absorbable protein for the meat, eggs, and dairy, which may only absorb at 50, 60, or 70%. Best Amino is a proven formula of essential proteins that we all
Go straight on.
that absorbs at 99%. Visit bestamino.com. That's bestamino.com. Hi, it's Dr. Asa. I'll give you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you with your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is cover the small shipping and handling cost. Go to myfreehealthbook.com.
Go straight on.
That's myfreehealthbook.com. Yes, I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you live
Caution,
stronger,
please mind
longer.
speed.
Remember, I'll pay for the book. All you do is cover the small shipping and handling cost. Go to myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com and get your free book today. Hi, it's Asa here. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired?
Please mind
you need a new
speed.
prescription for your life. I have a special gift for all my listeners. I'm giving away a free copy of my international best-selling book to help you truly live your potential. All you have to do is cover the shipping
Go
and
straight
handling,
on.
and I will give you the book absolutely free. I want to invest in you and your health this year. So get your free copy of my book by visiting myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com, and let's get healthy together this year. Did you know that you can listen to the Asa RX audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Let me see the car go here. Yeah,
Attention business owners. 3,076 businesses are shutting their doors every single day. There are 3 things holding you back from doubling your sales in the next 12 months. They are: number 1, the Great Resignation. 47 million Americans voluntarily left their job last year. Your staff are harder to find than ever before. Number 2, the clutter factor. 3.8 billion social media pages are competing for the attention of your prospects. No wonder they aren't listening to your marketing efforts. Number 3, the death of the salesman. 97% of your prospects feel salespeople are too pushy today. Hello, I'm Amanda Holmes. I've just released an updated version of my father's cult classic book, The Ultimate Sales Machine. If you'd like to double your sales in the next 12 months, download a free chapter of the book at ultimatesalesmachine.com/book. Our clients call it the chapter that changes lives. It's worked for 250,000 businesses worldwide. It'll work for you. Get your proven roadmap to doubling sales
and then continue
at
straight on.
ultimatesalesmachine.com/book.
Attention.
Go straight on.
Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-885-3555. That's 800-885-3555. Again, that's 800-885-3555.
Hello, this is Steve Keeker, President of Senior Care Consulting. I'm so excited to announce that we are expanding nationwide by awarding senior care consulting franchises. We help our clients find the right senior care community, including assisted living, memory care, long-term care, and continuing care retirement communities. We are not another run-of-the-mill free referral service. We're very different. We offer a placement service with integrity. Owning a senior care consulting franchise offers many benefits. Our market is not affected by the economy. Operate from your home office and enjoy work-life balance. Pour your passion into a business you can be proud of. For more information about owning a senior care consulting franchise, call 833-722-3726, 833-722-3726, or visit seniorcareconsulting.com.
Connect with On-Call Radio and watch On-Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Lines are open with questions about your health. Give us a call or go to the website. Go to asarx.com.
Go straight on.
That's asarx.com. We're here for you each and every day to take you from where you are in your current state of health to where you need to be, to live your potential and help you become the best version of you. All right, most teens, physical activity now is happening in school, and that's about it. About half of the young teens, daily physical activity occurs at school, but it accounts for just a fraction of the time there. So we knew that schools were a major source of physical activity for kids, but we were surprised that kids spent only 4.8% of their time at school physically active. The lowest of all locations, says study lead author Jordan Carlson, Director of Community Engaged Health Research at Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas City. Besides helping to prevent obesity and chronic disease, physical activity has benefits for bone health, brain development, academic achievement, on-task behavior, and mental health, they said. So kids have a natural instinct to move around. They just do. And schools can support it by providing more opportunities for students to be active, like incorporating physical activity in the classroom is one way of doing that. The study also found that walking to school added an extra 15 to 20 minutes of overall physical activity to to children's days, yet the proportion of kids who walk to school has dropped from 40% a few decades ago to 15% now. So building schools closer to students' homes, improving pedestrian safety, and utilizing drop-off zones when the distance to school is too far, they can have meaningful impacts on their overall physical activity and health, Carlson said. But the researchers now measured how much moderate to vigorous physical activity nearly 550 teens received daily by outfitting them with a GPS tracker and an accelerometer for an average of 7 days. The group of teens ranged from 12 to 16 and was diverse in terms of gender. So they had a good variety of it. The teens spent about 42% of their waking time at school and a little more than a quarter of their time at home. They also spent about 13% of their time in their neighborhoods and 14% of their time elsewhere. So overall, the study found that they spend an average of 39 minutes a day engaged in moderate to vigorous physical activity, significantly less than the 60 minutes recommended for healthy development and obesity prevention. On school days, just over half this activity time occurred at school, the study found. And when average across the full week, including weekends, teens got about 42% of their total physical activity while they were in school, which I think is interesting. But they got about 10% of their total physical activity each week in the neighborhood or around their school, the study found. But despite the declining budgets, it's important that the schools not neglect the value of physical education. I completely agree.
Looks like the Grand
It's a big
Canyon,
deal,
but
and
it's
I
a
don't think
different
we
place.
tackle it enough and put enough importance on it. But it's a really, really big deal. And the most important implication coming out of the study was that as a society, including parents and educators, healthcare providers, and government officials, we need to do more to promote a healthy, active lifestyle among the at-risk adolescents. That's really the biggest deal. So studies are showing that kids learn better when they have time for physical activity. I totally agree. Like back in the day, I would never want to think that I'm getting to the point where I would ever say back in the day. It feels like yesterday, right? We were like so active. Now I know we didn't have the devices. I mean, even the video games were pretty light. Like compared to what's now, like it looked like a piece of popcorn bouncing around on the TV screen. Like it's awful. But we thought it was cool. And they started to get better, you know, but it wasn't enough to keep our attention. I think now everything is so awesome that everything's fighting for your attention. Everything. TV, podcast, the internet for sure. And things are so advanced, and I think kids get into what they get into, but the last thing a lot of kids want to do is just go out and play and run around. Like that day has really changed a lot. Where, I mean, it was pulling teeth to get me to come in. Like literally my mother would be out in the neighborhood playing, and she'd have to I'd be like clawing not to go inside even to eat dinner. I just wanted to stay out and play nonstop until it was dark and I was still wanting to play. So physically active is something that I've always been, and I really enjoy it. And especially after sitting in school all day, I was like, let me, I got to go. So I just hope we find ways to help kids get more active and be more physically active, because childhood obesity is going up through the roof. And it really, it's like 1 out of 3 of our young people under the age of 11 has type 2 diabetes. That's crazy. Think about that. 1 out of 3. It's crazy, but it's the truth. And I think we need to do something about it. I think we need to deep dive in. We need to make something happen. Otherwise, our generation coming up underneath them is going to be in for a world of challenge. That's for sure. And I think it's sad because we have so much information, but it really comes down to behavior. It's like one more study comes out, and we found this drug, or we found this way to help with diabetes, but we're not addressing the behavior. Like no one is addressing the behavior. Like you think it's genetics, or do you think it's the broken home that child comes from, or do you think that it's the fact that their food sources are not that great, or it's the fact that there's no one in the house to cook for them, they're eating out of boxes all the time with junk food because both parents are working. And I'm not faulting anybody for that. I'm just saying it is what it is. Like diabetes is not happening because the genetics are being passed down. There are genetic involvement, but it's not. It's like 10%, 5% maybe. It's lifestyle habits. We know that. It's proven. So until we tackle that, until we want to take on behavior, nobody wants to take on behavior. This is what I do. This is what we do here, by the way. If you haven't figured that out yet, this is why we do what we do. Because I don't want to see people suffer. And I can tell you, after being almost 20 years of clinical practice, I can tell you that it's not just genetics. And it's not just, oh, oops, I've got high blood pressure. Like, you look at that person's life and behavior, that's why their body's breaking down. You want to figure that out? That's why their body's breaking down. So that's the deal. I want to see our kids get better. I want them to have a better environment. I think we can do better as leaders and parents. We have to. Puts another hour in the charts. I want to thank our producer, Mr. Fig, also Derek Allen, and John Garrison, our chief engineer. Go tell one person something you learned on the show. Together, we can transform the health of our friends, our families, and our communities. You're listening to the show that helps you live your potential. This is ASA RX.
This show is designed to provide accurate information of a general nature on the subject matter covered, given with the understanding that neither the host nor the station is engaged with rendering any form of medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. This information is not approved by the FDA and is not intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any disease.
To experience more of ASA RX audio, visit us at asarx.com. Hi, this is Dr. Asa to talk to you about the world's best protein for longevity called Best Amino. Protein is essential for every cell in your body to function at its absolute best. Best Amino is the highest absorbable protein, more than meat, eggs, and dairy, which may only absorb at 50, 60, or 70%. Best Amino is a proven formula of essential proteins that we all need, that absorbs at 99%. Visit bestamino.com. That's bestamino.com. Hi, it's Asa here. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Do you need a new prescription for your life? I have a special gift for all my listeners. I'm giving away a free copy of my international best-selling book to help you truly live your potential. All you have to do is cover the shipping and handling, and I will give you the book absolutely free. I want to invest in you and your health this year. So get your free copy of my book by visiting myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com, and let's get healthy together this year.
You are listening to AM 1450, KVOW Riverton, the voice of Fremont County.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. 2 people are dead and 6 injured after an active shooter incident at Florida State University in Tallahassee today. The injured victims, as well as the suspected shooter, were brought to a local hospital. CBS's Skylar Henry has more on the suspect.
The alleged shooter has been identified as 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner, an FSU student who was shot by police. Officials say he is the son of a local sheriff's deputy and used one of her weapons that was found at the scene.
A day after Fed Chair Jerome Powell said tariffs are likely to cause a rise in inflation, President Trump says Powell would resign if Trump asked him to. Powell has said he would not do that. CBS's Willie James Inman.
This is something that the president has mentioned before. In his first term, he wanted to oust Powell for then raising interest rates. In this case, he wants Powell to lower interest rates. In his mind, that would lead to a more positive outcome for the U.S. economy amid all of the changes that are happening with his tariff policy.
The resentencing hearing for the Menendez brothers has been delayed. CBS's Stacey Lynn.
A judge has postponed the hearing until May 9th to give more time for a few motions to be addressed. The attorney for the brothers has filed a motion to remove the district attorney from the case. That and the admissibility of a risk assessment report from the parole board will be considered now at the later date.
The brothers were sentenced to life without parole for killing their parents in 1989. The resentencing hearing will focus on whether they have been rehabilitated and deserve a lesser sentence that could make them eligible for release. A United Nations report says the humanitarian situation in Gaza is the worst it has been since the war began 18 months ago. Linda Gradstein reports from Jerusalem.
The UN report comes 6 weeks after Israel cut off all international aid to Gaza and says that thousands of children in Gaza are suffering from severe malnutrition. The UN says the situation is set to get even worse and that most Palestinians in Gaza do not have access to enough food or clean water. Israeli military sources accuse Hamas of stockpiling food and keeping it for its fighters.
Pope Francis has made a surprise visit to a prison on Holy Thursday as he recovers from a life-threatening case of double pneumonia. CBS's Chris Livesay with more from Rome.
He was only released from the hospital last month and was given strict doctor's orders not to mingle with the people and to limit his public appearances, but so far that does not seem to be working. He has made several public appearances and indeed mingled with people in the last 10 days, specifically right now during Holy Week. Chris Livesay, CBS News, Rome.
This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, get in. What? Who are you? I'm future you. Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Yeah. Mia, our doctor figured it out. She said it's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Higher prices are not stopping Americans from spending on Easter sweets.
A report from the National Retail Federation finds shoppers plan to spend a total of more than $23 billion on Easter, up from $22 billion last year. The biggest area of spending? On things like chocolate bunnies, cream eggs, and Peeps. Candy is the largest of planned Easter purchases at 93%, and that's despite higher cocoa prices linked to drought and crop shortages. Food follows at 89%, gifts, decorations, and clothing.
Yeah, Saturday, 21,
Deborah
51,
Rodriguez, CBS News.
Sean Diddy Combs' lawyers ask a federal judge in New York to delay his sex trafficking trial by 2 months so they can better prepare a defense. They say prosecutors have been slow to turn over some evidence for review, making it hard to be ready for the May 5th trial date. The judge says he will assess the defense's request at a hearing tomorrow. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Ready to roll.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-2706. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-2706. That's 800-575-2706. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Do you need new garage doors? Are you looking to upgrade your existing system? Or did you lose your last remote? In any case, R-Made Doors in Riverton can get you taken care of. They offer free estimates and can service all brands of garage doors. Visit them at rmadoors.com or call 307-349-0594 to schedule your free estimate today. They are committed to fast and reliable service while staying in your budget. rmadoors.com or 307-349-0594.
A copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to AsaRx.com and get your free book today. Did you know that you can listen to the Asa RX audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at AsaRx.com/experience. What are you struggling with? Let's talk about it. Your health, your life. Remember, if the body can get sick, you can also get well. It's about living your potential. That's what this show's all about, because we all have potential. The question is, are we tapping into it? Are we living the lifestyle and the life that we were designed to live? We were all given a gift, and that's this life. Remember that the odds were against you being born, and you were born. That right there is amazing, and that right there is a gift, and that's what sets you apart from everything, is that you were given this gift of life. So what are you doing with the life you've been given? It's about reaching your potential. It's about getting to the next level. It's about making an impact with your health and with your life. 888-283-7272 is the phone number. Lines are open. You can give us a call. And don't forget, go to the website, asarx.com, and you can send us an email. We'll make it part of the show. Or if you want me to answer in private, I'll be glad to do that as well. Whatever you prefer, we're here for you. So whatever you're struggling with, we want to talk about it. We've got providers that can help you all around the country, no matter where you are. We've got a provider that can dig their heels in with you, whatever you're struggling with, whatever your condition is, and handle it the way that we talk about here on the show. Let's talk about hip pain a little bit. I want to kick off with that and start into that a little bit, because there's 5 common causes of hip pain, specifically in women. And hip pain can result from wear and tear, overuse, and a few other causes. So one couple types of chronic hip pain that we look at and can see is because it has a lot of different causes. The diagnosis first, though, you got to figure out if it's your hip. So the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons said hip pain is often felt in the groin or outside the hip, directly where the hip joint, ball, and socket is located. So that's where you kind of feel that. And the causes of hip pain in women can be different. When a female patient comes to see most doctors complain of hip pain, they consider the patient's age, build, and activity level. If the patient's a thin 20-year-old runner or a heavy sedentary 80-year-old grandmother, there's a lot of the possibilities are very different. So you have to start thinking differently depending on what the conditions are. Arthritis can be the first thought. Chronic hip pain in women is often due to arthritis, particularly osteoarthritis, which is the wear and tear that affects people as they age. The ball and socket joint starts to wear and tear out. So arthritis pain is often felt in the front of your thigh or in the groin because of the stiffness and the swelling inside that joint. That's where you get a lot of the pain. Hip fractures are another one. You got to think about that. Now, that comes with age, right? So the 20-year-old runner is probably not going to have that kind of condition. But, nevertheless, hip fractures are a big deal. And anyone with osteoporosis, which is decreased bone density, right? The bone's not as thick and hard as it needs to be. Symptoms of a hip fracture include pain when you straighten, lift, or stand on your leg. And also, the toes on your injured side will appear to turn outward, a sign that can aid your doctor's preliminary diagnosis. So you'll kind of have the toes and the foot will flare out to the side. Hip fractures are a pretty big deal. Okay, tendonitis and bursitis, these are other ones that are not as impactful, but they still don't feel great. So many tendons around the hip connect to the muscles in the joint, and these tendons can easily become inflamed if you ever use them or participate in strenuous activities. One of the most common causes of tendonitis in the hip joint, especially with runners, is IT band syndrome. Iliotibial band is a thick span of tissue that runs from the outer rim of the pelvis to the inside of your knee. Another cause of the hip pain in women is bursitis. So if you deal with hip pain at all, there's a lot of reasons why, and there's a lot of ways to take care of it. So we're talking about another area too, and this mimics hip pain, which is really, really interesting, but it's called hernia. And if you've ever heard of a hernia, it's where there's of course, in the groin area, there's a femoral and inguinal hernia. These are always referred to as sports hernias. They can cause anterior frontal hip pain in women and men, by the way. Pregnant women can be susceptible to the inguinal hernias because of the added pressure on the wall of their abdomen. Now, gynecological and back issues are another big issue. Hip pain in women can have a lot of gynecological issues. And depending on your age and other health issues, the pain in your hip could be coming from some other system. Endometriosis is another one. Now, with the endometriosis, which the uterus lining grows somewhere else, can cause pelvic tenderness, which some women describe as hip pain. Pain from the back and the spine can also be felt around the buttocks and the hip. Now, sciatica, which is a big, big deal, this one hurts. This is one that you need to watch out for. But sciatica is a pinched nerve, typically affects one side of the body and can cause pain in the back of the right or left hip, rather. So that one is quite the challenge, and we see that a lot. especially in clinical practice. Treatment for the hip pain depends on the diagnosis. So it's all about the diagnosis. Remember, it's inflammatory in nature. It's wear and tear unless there's some kind of injury. But excessive weight, the obesity issue we have right now, 70% of Americans are overweight, 40% are obese. Like, it's a crisis. It's beyond a crisis. As long as I've been doing this show, I'm amazed at the fact that the obesity rates have increased. I thought for sure, as much as we know and as much as we're educating between television and radio and internet, we would all kind of get it and get excited and really change our health and lifestyle choices, but we're just getting fatter. It's crazy. Nevertheless, I'm on a mission. I want to see people live their potential. So that's why we're here. Okay? Even if people still struggle, that's why we're here. You need a voice that can help carry you through all this. Really makes a difference. 888-283-7272 is the number. Lines are open. You can give us a call or go to asarx.com. Visit us at the website, and we can help you. Let's jump on the phones here. I see you waiting for me. Let's go to Ava. Hi, Ava.
I am 46 years old, and over the past year and a half, it's gotten to where I am just as tired when I wake up as when I have gone to sleep. I usually kind of bottom out around 4 o'clock each day, and I'm getting 8 to 9 hours of sleep a night, so I was concerned.
Yeah, the sleep issue, it's important. I mean, regardless of what anybody tells you, it's super, super important. You have to get sleep. And if you're not, and you're not getting the level of sleep that you feel like you need, if you're not getting in that deep REM stage of sleep, and you know when you are. I mean, if you're not dreaming at all, you're not getting into a very deep stage of sleep. So it's okay if you don't remember your dreams like vividly, but you kind of know if you dream or not. So if you're not hitting that stage, yeah, your body's not getting into a real deep stage of sleep. So I would encourage you, first and foremost, to look and see if you have any neurotransmitter, which are the brain chemicals, instability there. Because a lot of times with sleep, what you find is that it can be mineral deficiencies. Like it could be something like calcium or potassium or magnesium, which is pretty common, by the way. But it also could be something neurotransmitter related. So if you just find that it's just imbalanced and you can't get there, that's probably what it is. The brain chemistry, like serotonin levels, even GABA, when those levels are off even a little bit, it can cause sleep disturbances. So check out your routine. Right? Make sure you've got a good, solid routine every day, that you're not sporadic in the way that you go to bed at night, that you've got a good sleep hygiene, as we call it, and that you've got a good routine going each day. That's the first thing you got to check. Do that for like a week, and then you can let us know. I get the testing done, though, for the neurotransmitters. If you can't find a doctor to do that, let our provider team know, our lifestyle providers that are all around the country that can help you. Okay? But we're here no matter what. But sleep is a big deal, and I'm glad you reached out to us, okay? We'll talk soon. 888-283-7272. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's Asa here. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Do you need a new prescription for your life? I have a special gift for all my listeners. I'm giving away a free copy of my international best-selling book to help you truly live your potential. All you have to do is cover the shipping and handling, and I will give you the book absolutely free. I want to invest in you and your health this year. Hi, Dr. Asa here to talk about MyPillow. We all know the importance of getting a good night's rest, and the pillow you use is vital for the optimal sleep that you need. That's why MyPillow is my top choice. No more tossing and turning all night long. With MyPillow, you'll get the most restful sleep you've ever experienced. Listen, since I started using MyPillow, my sleep has improved dramatically. I sleep all night long, and I wake up even more ready to take on the day. No caffeine for Dr. Asa, just a great night's rest with MyPillow, and I'm ready to go. Get the best sleep of your life with MyPillow. Visit MyPillow.com/Dr. Asa and enter promo code Dr. Asa. That's all one word for the promo code. It's DRASA. That's Dr. Asa to get huge discounts on all MyPillow products. Go to MyPillow.com/Dr. Asa and be sure to use the promo code Dr. Asa to get the MyPillow Queen Size Special for only $19.98. That's MyPillow.com/Dr. Asa. MyPillow is an absolute sleep game changer. It's Dr. Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you with your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is cover the small shipping and handling cost. Go to myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com. Yes, I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you live stronger, longer. Remember, I'll pay for the book. All you do is cover the small shipping and handling cost. Go to myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com and get your free book today.
At National Geographic Society, we believe in the power of wonder. It drives us to explore, pushes us to see the world differently, moves us to action. And we believe that today, wonder is more essential than ever. Wow. That's why we're supporting a new generation of explorers to ask big questions, make breakthroughs, and bring the future closer. Wonder awaits. Will you join us? Visit natgeo.org/wonder.
I heard the call to serve, so I answered. I earned a title and discovered my purpose. I found belonging, an unbreakable bond with my fellow Marines. We fought to overcome adversity together in defense of our nation and its people. I've lived a full life, rich with meaning. And even though I no longer wear the uniform, I am still a Marine. My service has come full circle. I will always look after those around me. I will always uplift and support my country and my community. Because that is the promise I made. That is what it means to be a Marine. Semper Fidelis. Always faithful, always Marine.
This is your Tech It Out Minute with Mark Saltzman, powered by Intel.
No doubt you've heard us talk about the amazing line of Tapo security cameras from TP-Link, a convenient and effective way to keep your home safe. But what about a convenient way to keep your home clean? Well, a super easy solution is the Tapo RV70 Pro Ultra Robot Vacuum. And this high-tech cleaner is all about reusing and recycling. Armed with AI detection, this is an all-in-one self-circulation robot with easy wastewater treatment and minimal maintenance. Here's some deets. The Tapo RV70 actually extracts moisture from the air to enable self-sustaining and eco-friendly cleaning and maintain your preferred humidity levels. The water used for the mopping function is recycled and purified, so you never have to refill it. And the built-in AI recognizes furniture and pets. It's the Tapo RV70 Pro Ultra. Check it out at tp-link.com.
That was your Tech It Out Minute, powered by Intel.
The word never carries a lot of weight. Never forget, never settle, never surrender. And now Dodge is proud to announce Never Lift, the full throttle rally cry of stepping on the gas and never letting up. With the 475 horsepower Durango SRT 392 and the muscle car dynamic duo Dodge Charger and Challenger. And the introduction of Dodge Power Brokers, your official dealer from legendary Direct Connection Performance Parts. For more on the Never Lift mindset, go to Dodge.com. Dodge is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
To find out more, connect with On Call Radio online at InShapeNetwork.com.
Welcome back to the show, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. So glad you're with us. Go to the website, go to asarx.com. What about pain management? So pain management's a big deal. Like people that struggle with pain, deal with pain, it's a big deal. And I really want to jump in for just a moment and talk about it, because if you do pain management, it can be a highly challenging situation to be on these medications. But what about doing pain management without drugs? You ever thought about that? You're probably going, no. So pain management without drugs is possible. So when it comes to this, and you're looking at chronic pain, what can you do? Well, when chronic pain sets in, people immediately look for their medicine cabinet or rush to the drugstore, because the medication usually offers temporary pain management relief. We don't want pain. Like the two things human beings we avoid pain, but we create change in our lives due to one of two things: either pain, massive pain, or pleasure. And usually pain and fear will push us further into change than the latter. But nonetheless, I mean, that's how we're wired, and that's how our brains work, and that's how our bodies work. So when you're talking about pain management and getting relief from pain, of course we go to medicine because we don't want to hurt. Like, that's pretty simple, right? So acupuncture, there's some alternatives in pain management that I hope you'll consider. So if you struggle with pain management, or if you struggle with pain and you're in pain management, right, look at some of these alternatives because they're really, really good. I'm excited about them. Number one is acupuncture. It's the oldest pain management technique in the world, Chinese practice of acupuncture. So it uses tiny needles placed in specific joints along the body to help alleviate chronic pain. And the other pain management that's really good, and by the way, a lot of insurance companies now are paying for acupuncture, and they're covering it with insurance. So that's a super important thing to understand because, I mean, a lot of people, even Medicare has considered it. I don't know if it's completely gone that route yet, but I know it was considered. So pain management, along with acupuncture, is massage therapy. And therapeutic massage, extremely beneficial. So many good techniques, sports massage and deep tissue. But it offers a lot of benefits with chronic pain management. The deep tissue massage and some of the gentle techniques can help relax muscles, sore tissues, and ease chronic pain. One study in the Annals of Internal Medicine found that benefits of massage easing lower back pain for about 6 months or longer. It really does. It makes a big difference. Another one is physical therapy. So physical therapy teaches you how to gently move and stretch your muscles and work your joints to strengthen them, which can help alleviate pain. Unlike medication, physical therapy can actually help treat the underlying source of your pain, whether it's arthritis or another condition that can help. Physical therapy can also include water therapy, which is like working the muscles in the pool or whirlpool. And physical therapy also includes regular exercise and working with pain specialists trained in physical therapy and can teach you the right way to exercise or alleviate pain, not increase it. So in a recent article in the Annals of Internal Medicine, it found that doing home exercises taught by physical therapists was more helpful for neck pain than actual drugs. Think about that. That's pretty cool. Hot and cold therapy is another big one. You're seeing the cryotherapy clinics now. Have you seen those? So cryotherapy is where it's really, really cold, and the sub-zero temperatures, not sub-zero, but it's really, really cold. These low temperatures of the body, with what it does to the body, helps from recovery. So, but the heat and contrasted with the cold, hot and cold therapy, can help quite a bit. And so the heat therapy boosts the blood flow in areas of the body due to pain due to inflammation, and it allows muscles to relax. So you can apply a heating pad or a heat wrap and then relax in a hot bath for pain management. Can soothe everything, really. The cold therapy, though, can be useful for pain management. It slows blood flow to a painful joint, so the swelling's reduced, and the nerves aren't able to send messages as quickly for pain. So you can apply a cold pack or even do the cryotherapy. So we're talking about pain management, doing it naturally. You're listening to the ASA RX experience. Give us a call, 888-283-7272 to join in the show, or go to the website, go to asarx.com. So another one for pain management, we're talking about hot and cold therapy. We talked about massage therapy and physical therapy. But what about therapy for the mind? So anxiety, stress,
Finding
and
a
depression
new route
can all aggravate the pain cycle in the body. So it's important not to ignore the emotional side of your pain. So cognitive behavioral therapy, which can teach you how to manage thoughts and feelings of your body's physical response, can effectively manage chronic pain. Biofeedback is another method that teaches you how to control your body's reactions to pain. So while hypnosis and deep tissue relaxation, they can help with pain management as well. Now, TENS treatment is another one. So electrically stimulating the area where the pain is localized, you can actually help alleviate it. So the electrical nerve stimulation, or a TENS unit, which has been used forever in medicine, but it really works, is the electrical stimulation technique most often used in pain management. It's a small device attached to the skin, and it sends electrical impulses to the painful area. It helps to reduce the pain. But the bottom line is with all these, I mean, you got to find what works for you. At the end of the day,
Never
taking a lot of
mind.
medications.
I'll find a new route.
I hope you'll consider some of these because it's really, that whole pain management cycle with meds, I mean, I get it. People love it. They get addicted to it, but it's a bad cycle. Like the pain meds are long term for your health and your brain and your mind and your body. It's just not a good cycle. So if you can come out with a new way of doing this, whether it's acupuncture, massage therapy, physical therapy, hot cold therapy, TENS unit, whatever you have to do, like just pick something. But maybe look at some of these natural options as alternatives to be able to help you along the way. 888-283-7272. Visit us online. Go to AsaRx.com. We want to see you live your potential. Like, that is what this thing is all about. If you haven't checked out the podcast is out every single day, anywhere that you can find the outlets, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, all of those, Pandora. You can check it out and check out our podcast and all the latest episodes. Of course, you know, the radio show here goes to the podcast. That's how you can catch the previous episodes of that. Coming up, we've got more questions about your health, and can marijuana help my diabetes? That's a hot topic right now. Now we're getting into it, nitty-gritty right there.
Get
So we'll
ready
be right
to
back.
turn left.
Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Asa RX Experience.
Turn left.
Hi, it's Asa here. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Do you need a new prescription for your life? I have a special gift for all my listeners. I'm giving away a free copy of my international best-selling book to help you truly live your potential. All you have to do is cover the shipping and handling, and I will give you the book absolutely free. I want to invest in you and your health this year. So get your free copy of my book by visiting myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com, and let's get healthy together this year. Hi, this is Dr. Asa. I'm talking about the world's best protein for longevity called Best Amino. Protein is essential for every cell in your body to function at its absolute best. Best Amino is the highest absorbable protein more than meat, eggs, and dairy, which may only absorb at 50, 60, or 70%. Best Amino is a proven formula of essential proteins that we all need and absorbs at 99%. Visit bestamino.com. That's bestamino.com.
Winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings kick in during the night and last through Thursday night. Rain showers will shift over to snow by daybreak with lows in the upper 20s and low 30s. Periods of moderate and heavy snows Thursday. Highs steady in the mid-30s with areas of blowing snow to go with a gusty east and northeast wind. Snow showers continue to taper off Thursday night and linger into Friday morning. Lows mid-20s and highs upper 30s, low 40s. With snowfall about 40 minutes or
5, some other.
And we'll change it, cancel it, and fix it for you. We know the insider secrets to fixing reservations that the airlines don't want you to know about. So if you need to cancel, change, or modify an existing airline reservation, call Skywatch right now. It's a free call, so let us fix it for you. 800-419-1964. 800-419-1964. 800-419-1964. That's 800-419-1964.
Go straight on.
The argument of Wall Street versus Main Street is a pile of nonsense. The Watchdog on Wall Street podcast with Chris Markowski. Every day, Chris helps unpack the connection between politics and the economy and how it affects your wallet. The stock market was all over the place due to the expected tariffs. And guess what? Wall Street still made money. Mom and pop stores weren't even affected. Whether it's happening in D.C. or down on Wall Street, it's affecting you financially. Be informed. Check out the Watchdog on Wall Street podcast with Chris Markowski on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast.
Attention business owners. 3,076 businesses are shutting their doors every single day. There are 3 things holding you back from doubling your sales in the next 12 months. They are number 1, the Great Resignation. 47 million Americans voluntarily left their job last year. Your staff are harder to find than ever before. Number 2, the clutter factor. 3.8 billion social media pages are competing for the attention of your prospects. No wonder they aren't listening to your marketing efforts. Number 3, the death of the salesman. 97% of your prospects feel salespeople are too pushy today. Hello, I'm Amanda Holmes. I've just released an updated version of my father's cult classic book, The Ultimate Sales Machine. If you'd like to double your sales in the next 12 months, download a free chapter of the book at ultimatesalesmachine.com/book. Our clients call it the chapter that changes lives. Get your proven roadmap to doubling sales at ultimatesalesmachine.com/book.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-885-3555.
Go straight on.
800-885-3555. Again, that's 800-885-3555.
Wounded Warrior Project has been there for me since that first day in the hospital. They got me out of the house. They got me connected with other
Caution,
veterans.
please
and they
mind
helped
the
me
speed
face
limit.
my PTSD. They support me and my family at every turn. And now I'm helping other warriors realize that they're not alone.
Through our hands-on programs, supportive community, and ongoing advocacy, we help post-9/11 veterans realize what's possible. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
Go straight on.
To find out more, visit the
Keep
show
left,
online.
and then turn left.
Welcome back to the show. 888-283-7272.
Turn left.
888-283-7272. So glad you're with us. This show is all about helping you live your potential. I'm Asa, your host. Good to be with you as always. So we're going to dive in. I'm just going to go ahead and deep dive in to this topic that no one wants to talk about, right? So, and when you say it, everybody freaks out because it's been taboo for so long. But I'm talking about marijuana in medicine. And all my conservative folks are like, don't talk about the marijuana. Don't talk about the CBD. Don't talk about... Yeah, it's here. So many states have adopted it. It's here, and it's a plant. So let's jump into it, okay? Now, I've never been a marijuana smoker. I've never been into it. I mean, even in my day of youth, right, running around college and all that, I was just never a pot guy. Just never was. Never my thing. So now that it's here in medicine and they've got studies behind it and we're really diving into this thing, I want to get into some of it because I think we need to know. It's one thing just having an opinion about what we think, but it's another thing to jump into the research and look at it. So research and the risk, and so we're talking about marijuana and can it help diabetes, because there's a lot of things that we know it can help, but what about diabetes? I think this is really interesting. Research is now on the benefits of medical marijuana for people with diabetes is preliminary. They're doing new studies on it. But research for marijuana for medicinal purposes is limited, and the FDA has not approved the drug as a standard of care.
Get
29
ready.
states
Turn right.
and Washington, D.C. have legalized medical marijuana. All right, 29 states. That's a lot. And that legalization has passed at a time when some research, which has mostly been observational and conducted by animals, links marijuana use to improved symptoms and outcomes, even associated with conditions like HIV, multiple sclerosis, chronic pain, and mental disorders. But what do researchers say about using marijuana to help prevent diabetes? Well, can cannabis really help prevent diabetes? That's the question. So the marijuana plant contains chemicals called cannabinoids, okay, and they have a wide range of effects, including increased appetite, diminished pain, and inflammation. That all sound great, but really, what's the deal, right? So even with some of the preliminary research that suggests that medical marijuana may help improve glucose control and insulin resistance, doctors across the board aren't that fast to recommend medical marijuana for diabetes prevention. So that's because most of the studies have really not met the gold standard of what we use in the studies. So medical marijuana hasn't been analyzed in a large, randomized controlled study in which human subjects with type 2 diabetes actually used it. So such studies reduce the risk of bias in study authors and provide the most reliable evidence for what we have with a cause, what we call a cause and effect relationship between two factors. So in this case, it'd be medical marijuana and diabetes. So we just have a correlated link right now. But with that being said, they did a study in the American Journal of Medicine. And they have some observational clues about how cannabis can affect diabetes, which I think is pretty cool. So they looked at nearly 600 adult men and women currently using marijuana, and about 2,000 had used it in the past. After fasting overnight, their blood drawn were screened for other health factors like high blood pressure, body mass index, and waist circumference. Compared with those participants who had never used marijuana, the people who used the marijuana had a 17% lower fasting insulin level and glucose level. They also tended to have smaller waistlines, so the level of obesity was down. Interesting. Their BMI was better. So the results from the latter study seem to support the conclusion that observational cross-sectional studies that were published about this in the British Medical Journal, that they were saying that about 11,000 participants were in this one. And they theorized that the anti-inflammatory properties of the cannabinoids may have led to the health outcomes of the participants. Might have, could be. But the fact that they're discussing it, I think, is great. Because could it be that it helps? I mean, nothing's going to help diabetes more than a healthy lifestyle. Like, you can't go smoke pot and eat donuts and get rid of diabetes. Like, let's just call it what it is. Okay? Like, that's not where we're going in this conversation. But the fact that it has some chemicals in it that could be beneficial for diabetes, I think is worth discussing, and it's worth talking about. So can it help control diabetes? That's a different topic. So when studies investigating marijuana as diabetes prevention tool have not been conclusive. One study suggests a drug may be used to help relieve diabetes symptoms, which can be kind of cool, like diabetic neuropathy. This was in the Journal of Pain. So diabetic neuropathy, or painful nerve damage due to chronic high blood sugar, which may lessen the discomfort of inhaling marijuana. So cannabinoid receptors located in the nervous system across the spinal cord and brain appear to work on multiple planes to relieve pain, including decreasing the excitability of receptors, reducing transmission of pain signals to the brain, and inhibiting discomfort down the spinal cord. You're listening to the ACE-RX Experience. If you're just joining in now, you can give us a call, 828-372-72, to join the show. If you just want us to answer private, we will. You can go to the website, acerx.com. But we're talking right now about marijuana and can it help diabetes? Because I think it's an interesting conversation, just to say the least, about how marijuana can help any condition, for that matter. I think we just hear marijuana and we all freak out. And it's like, oh no, but go take any of these other drugs that are so full of side effects. And then we look at marijuana, which I'm not like some marijuana fan, trust me. I just think it's interesting that we're now having these conversations and that 29 states have accepted it. Like, it's just an interesting time that in my lifetime I never thought I would see. So it's cool that we're having these conversations because it does have benefits, and we're seeing that. And I think that when we talk about, I mean, it is natural, so it's a plant. So anytime we're dealing with any kind of something somewhat natural, it's pretty cool to see the way God designed it. Now, the whole getting high thing, that's a whole different topic. But the benefits and the medicinal benefits that can come from the cannabis is pretty strong. The THC is a whole different topic. But the CBD portion, the oil that we're now seeing and using, that one is really powerful. So the barriers, just so you know, there's barriers to this research. And again, that's too technical, but I want to get into what a lot of the clinicians are saying. So clinicians agree that more data is needed, which is cool. The research is in the infancy. We all get that. But as far as the marijuana medically using medicinally to improve measures of metabolism for diabetes, there's a lot more unknowns than knowns. And it's way too early to make a recommendation for using cannabis for diabetes. So Troy Donahue, he's a physician and associate professor right down the street from us in endocrinology and diabetes at the University of Florida. although I'm a Seminole, Bill Knowles. He studied the effects of marijuana use following bariatric surgery. So Donahue was previously at the University of Colorado in Denver, where he saw many patients with diabetes and obesity who use cannabis recreationally or medicinally for anxiety, sleep, or pain control. He notes that one thing clinicians agree on is that strains of marijuana that produce a feeling of highness, the THC, many of which are recreational, would not be advisable for people with diabetes because they tend to increase appetite. For sure. So for people with diabetes, strict diet and weight management, it's crucial to help regulate blood sugar levels and increase insulin sensitivity. So what do doctors know? They know behavior changes like healthy diet and more physical activity, as well as approved medications for weight loss and diabetes, have been proven to halt the development and progression of the disease. So we know the risk and benefits, he says. And that makes the approaches far more preferable than medical marijuana for physicians to recommend. So what are the next steps?
Okay,
one of the
here we
things
go.
they say, although medical marijuana, the legislation, that's kind of a big deal. It's getting passed in more states. The traditional physicians who rely on research and official U.S. medical guidelines, they're really waiting on the studies. So even though it's doesn't mean your doctor's going to be cool with it. And a lot of guys and gals are jumping on the marketing bandwagon, and you're just being all pot clinic, right? So you go in and get your medical card and get all the marijuana you want. There's a lot of that going on. Just be careful with that. I get business and I get marketing. I just don't know that I'm a huge fan of that.
Caution, please mind
the
the speed
capitalizing in a way, and I mean, just like the pain management clinics, which I think do a lot of good, by the way. The well-run pain management clinics that are not there, as a glorified drug, pushing mill, which they busted a lot of those recently.
Right.
But the really good pain management clinics that are doing great, they screen very well, and they don't just hand out pills to everybody. I really have so much respect for that because a lot of people are. And if that's the case for a medical marijuana clinic, that's great. But if it's just solely for working it for profit, not cool. So just do your research. But I think it's worth talking about that more conditions are being talked about, like diabetes, for what medical marijuana can do and how it can benefit, and the different parts of it that can really make a difference. So you gotta respect that. That we're seeing that more and more. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website. Go to asarx.com. That's asarx.com. If you haven't checked out the podcast, please do. You can look up at any of the outlets, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Pandora, Spotify, any of those. Look up Asa RX Experience and you'll find it. Radio shows from the day we post there, plus original content, interviews, celebrity interviews that you don't want to miss. All of that there is a
Caution,
podcast.
please mind the speed.
Coming up, more questions about your health. And I'm going to jump in and hit on a couple of things you don't want to miss, especially you guys. I've got some things content-wise that's all about men's health.
Hi, it's Asa here. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Do you need a new prescription for your life? I have a special gift for all my listeners. I'm giving away a free copy of my international best-selling book to help you truly live your potential. All you have to do is cover the shipping and handling, and I will give you the book absolutely free. I want to invest in you and your health this year. Hi, this is Dr. Asa to talk to you about the world's best protein for longevity called Best Amino. Protein is essential for every cell in your body to function at its absolute best. Best Amino is the highest absorbable protein, more than meat, eggs, and dairy, which may only absorb at 50, 60, or 70%. Best Amino is a proven formula of essential proteins that we all need, that absorbs at 99%. Visit bestamino.com. That's bestamino.com. Hi, it's Dr. Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you with your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is cover the small shipping and handling cost. Go to myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com. Yes, I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you live stronger, longer. Remember, I'll pay for the book. All you do is cover the small shipping and handling cost.
Go to myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com and get your free book today.
Hi, it's Asa here. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Do you need a new prescription for your life? I have a special gift for all my listeners. I'm giving away a free copy of my international best-selling book to help you truly live your potential. All you have to do is cover the shipping and handling, and I will give you the book absolutely free. I want to invest in you and your health this year. So get your free copy of my book by visiting myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com, and let's get healthy together this year.
Did you know that you can listen to the ASA RX audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
60 seconds of service. This 60 seconds of service is presented by T-Mobile. T-Mobile offers exclusive discounts for veteran and military families and are proud supporters of the National Defense Network. Visit T-Mobile.com/military to learn more about how they support our military community. In New York City, former Army Sergeant James Williams has dedicated his post-military life to helping homeless veterans. He founded Veterans Way, a nonprofit organization that offers veterans in need housing, job training, and mental health services. James, along with other volunteers, works tirelessly to help his fellow vets regain stability and re-enter the workforce. His organization has helped hundreds of homeless veterans find safe housing and rebuild their lives, serving as a beacon of hope in this bustling city. Today's 60 Seconds of Service is brought to you by Prevagen. Prevagen is the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand. You can find Prevagen in the vitamin aisle in stores everywhere.
At National Geographic Society, we believe in the power of wonder. It drives us to explore, pushes us to see the world differently, moves us to action. And we believe that today, wonder is more essential than ever. Wow. That's why we're supporting a new generation of explorers to ask big questions, make breakthroughs, and bring the future closer. Wonder awaits. Will you join us? Visit natgeo.org/wonder.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself. Promises to one's community.
Helping people move debris out of their house.
Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won. The word never carries a lot of weight. Never forget, never settle, never surrender. And now, Dodge is proud to announce Never Lift, the full throttle rally cry of stepping on the gas and never letting up. With the 475 horsepower Durango SRT 392 and the muscle car dynamic duo Dodge Charger and Challenger, and the introduction of Dodge Power Brokers, your official dealer for legendary direct connection performance parts. For more on the Never Lift mindset, go to Dodge.com. Dodge is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
Triple 8-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. So glad you're with us. Check us out on the web. Go to asarx.com. That's asarx.com. Listen, this show's all about helping you live your potential. I don't care who you are, where you come from. Doesn't matter your color. Doesn't matter your race. Doesn't matter your age. You have an amazing gift inside of you. And you are designed to do something great in this world. You have a potential. And I would beg to say that you have not even reached that potential, not even scratched the surface of who you were designed to be, that you've been stuck in a rut for a long time and doing the wrong path and following the wrong path of who you were designed to be. So it's time to make an about face. It's time to really get into a position where you can thrive. It's time to really get into a place where you can go in the right direction and head the right way and be who you were designed to be. That's what we want to see here on the show. And that's what you were designed to be. That's what we want to see for you more than anything else. So give us a call, 888-283-7272. At the website, I want you to go there, get a free copy of my book, and dive into it, because it will take you from where you are to where you need to be in your health. It will take you from A to Z in your health, and it will make a humongous difference. Yes, I said humongous difference in the way you live and everything about your life. It will take you, literally, from really, really not so great habits to great habits. It will take you out of health challenges into great health. It will, if you're already super healthy, it'll take you to the next level of healthy. Like it'll take you all the way around. So I encourage you to go there and check it out. Let's get on the phones and go to Alex. Hi, Alex.
I can't say this word. It's fibromyalgia. I know that's not right, but you know what I'm talking about. I just hurt and ache and burn and tingle, and I'd like to know what would be good for this. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome, darling. And let me help you on that. So fibromyalgia is one of those conditions that some doctors think it's a legit diagnosis, and it is a legit diagnosis. And some say it's not. Some say it's more mental than anything. And it's where the soft tissue, muscles, for that matter, and the soft tissue of the body ache and they hurt. So, for example, you come up to somebody that says they that have been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and they just ache. You grab their arm, and they just freak out. You grab their shoulder, and they're like, ah, they scream because it hurts. And there's reasons for that. The pain receptors and the inflammation of the body is elevated. But then also you got low brain chemistry. A lot of times there's a significant correlation with low serotonin levels in the brain and the achiness that goes on with fibromyalgia and the pain, the chronic pain, and the consistent pain. So all that can play a big role. So all that to say, one of the things you got to look at is you really want to focus on cutting out inflammation in the body, okay? So if you deal with that sort of pain, you got to look at your diet. If you're eating all kinds of foods and not really concerned about your diet, you probably got a lot of inflammation in the gut. If you got a lot of inflammation in the gut, you got a lot of inflammation in the body, period. That's just the way it goes. Now, the other piece to look at is your brain. So if you've ever taken antidepressants for anything, if you've ever gone that route of any kind of brain chemistry related issue or drugs or whatever, then that can play a role in this deal. It can play a big one, especially serotonin. Serotonin can play a big one and really be a game changer in it. So that's why somebody that has fibromyalgia, one of the first line treatments in medicine is putting that person on an antidepressant. And 90% of the time, a lot of the symptoms and pain goes away. It's like, what's up with that? Well, what's up with that is that the serotonin levels were low, and they fixed that, and then the pain goes away, and you had a neurotransmitter issue. It wasn't a pain issue. It's just how the body was exhibiting it. So a lot of things you can do to raise serotonin levels. First, though, you got to figure out, you got to get tested, okay? You need to get tested with your neurotransmitters, figure out which one's low, which one's high, which one needs to be stabilized, which ones are doing great, because you could eat certain foods that can affect one and mess up the other. You could build up one and have another one drop. So there's a lot of things you've got to do to make sure that you're doing the right things when it comes to getting the right nutrition for the body. And the testing is so important. So you can eat certain foods for serotonin, like protein-rich foods, like turkey is amazing. And then, of course, your meats, like red meat, although I'm not a big fan of doing that all the time, but the red meat is really, really good for brain chemistry. It's good for depression. You can definitely get in certain vitamins and minerals. Pyridoxal 5-phosphate is great. Magnesium is really good, as well as your omega-3 fatty acids. And also, don't forget vitamin B3. B3 is big as well for the brain chemistry and building up serotonin levels. There's a lot you can do to make that happen. So I would encourage you in this challenge that you're facing, get your diet right, okay, doing the anti-inflammatory based diet, get the eating right, because the inflammation's got to go down, period. And then secondly, as you're doing that, get testing done for your neurotransmitters so you know exactly which one it is. And then there's a nutritional protocol. If you need that, just let us know. Get with one of our healthy providers that are in your area. They're all over the country, so we can get you with a provider that can help you figure out exactly what's going on inside the system for you. And we can build a good game plan from there. So that is the ultimate key, really, when it comes down to it. Because the challenge is, in something like this, is to get everything balanced. And it's all about the research. It's about the tests. It's about knowing what's there and what's not there. 888-283-7272. We've got Samantha that sent an email in. She said she's from Washington, D.C., and says, I've been struggling heavily with low energy levels. I get up in the morning and I'm tired, and I go to bed really awake. What is that? Okay, that is classic symptoms of adrenal fatigue. Adrenal fatigue is one of those that we don't talk a lot about in healthcare and in medicine, but it is a real condition. And it's where the adrenal glands, which are the little stress glands that sit above the kidneys, they produce a hormone called cortisol. They also produce norepinephrine and epinephrine. But when cortisol is in DHEA, when they're off, then your energy levels are going to be off. And the more tired, as we call it, or fatigued the adrenals are, the less the body's going to work at its peak level. So getting some testing done for the adrenals is really important, but then there's also a lot of herbal remedies that can help, and a certain specific dietary plan, which I've got a whole webinar on that at the website, that will help you. Puts another hour in the charts. I want to thank our producers, Derek Allen, Mr. Fig, and John Garrison, our chief engineer. Go tell one person something you learned on the show. Together, we can transform the health of our friends, our families, and our communities. You're listening to the show that helps you live your potential. This is ASA RX Experience.
This show is designed to provide accurate information of a general nature on the subject matter covered, given with the understanding that neither host nor the station is engaged with rendering any form of medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. This information is not approved by the FDA and is not intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any disease.
To experience more of ASA RX audio, visit us at asarx.com. Hi, this is Dr. Asa to talk to you about the world's best protein for longevity called Best Amino. Protein is essential for every cell in your body to function at its absolute best. Best Amino is the highest absorbable protein, more than meat, eggs, and dairy, which may only absorb at 50, 60, or 70%. Best Amino is a proven formula of essential proteins that we all need, that absorbs at 99%. Visit bestamino.com. That's bestamino.com.
Hi, it's Asa here. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Do you need a new prescription for your life? I have a special gift for all my listeners. I'm giving away a free copy of my international best-selling book to help you truly live your potential. All you have to do is cover the shipping and handling, and I will give you the book absolutely free. I want to invest in you and your health this year. So get your free copy of my book by visiting myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com, and let's get healthy together this year.
You are listening to KVOW Riverton, AM 1450, the voice of Fremont County.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Shots fired on the Florida State University campus in Tallahassee earlier today.
We got the desks and started piling them up against the door. It was pretty hectic.
2 people are dead, 6 injured, and the suspect is in the hospital after being shot by officers. CBS's Scott McFarland.
There are a number of students on that campus today who were students at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas in 2018, who were freshmen at that campus and have now gone through 2 of these things.
The suspect is an FSU student and is the son of a sheriff's deputy. And Tallahassee Police Chief Lawrence Revelle says the suspect used his mother's former service weapon.
A lot of times, many agencies, mine included, when we transition to a new handgun, the officers are allowed to purchase the handgun they used prior. And correct me if I'm wrong, Sheriff, but I believe that's the case here. This was a handgun that deputy used prior to them transitioning to a new handgun, and so it was her personal handgun.
No word on a motive. A California judge puts a resentencing hearing for brothers Eric and Lyle Menendez on hold. CBS's Dina Demetrius.
LA District Attorney Nathan Hochman filed a last-minute motion urging the judge to read a comprehensive risk assessment of the brothers from the California Parole Board. The brothers are asking the judge to reduce their prison sentence to 50 years to life, making them eligible for parole in California because they were younger than 26 when they committed the crime. Their attorney, Mark Garrigo, says the men acted in self-defense after years of sexual abuse by their father. Prosecutors say they did it for a multi-million-dollar inheritance.
Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland posts on X a picture of him meeting with Kilmar Abrego Garcia in El Salvador amid a court fight over his return to the U.S. after his mistaken deportation. Scientists sound alarms as the Trump administration looks to end FDA's routine food inspections and farm them out to state and local agencies. Dr. Peter Lurie with the Center for Science in the Public Interest says the states don't have the money to pick up the slack.
I think the immediate fear on the inspection side is that some food poisoning outbreak will occur that would otherwise have been prevented. And then we could have many people getting infected completely unnecessarily.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell's comments yesterday, in which he warned that the Trump administration's ongoing trade war is highly likely to increase inflation and slow economic growth, had President Trump fired up.
I'm not happy with him. I let him know it, and if I want him out, he'll be out of there real fast, believe me.
The president does not have the authority to fire Powell or any commissioner at an independent regulatory agency. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Making an Impact, sponsored by Grainger. Rivers was a teenager living on the streets. He had no one to turn to until one man decided to show compassion.
I couldn't have been luckier. He chose to help me. He's made me part of his family. I mean, I say thank you to him every day. I'd do anything for him.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers professional-grade supplies and solutions, made for every industry and backed by product experts. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Don't miss your chance to spring into deals at Lowe's. Right now, get a free 60-volt Toro battery when you purchase a select 60-volt Toro electric mower. Plus, buy 3 19.3-ounce vegetable and herb Bonnie plants for just $10. It's time to give your yard a grow-up. Lowe's. We help. You save. Valid through 4/23. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Collegiate athletic officials are addressing what's seen as a growing problem.
This is obviously a big part of football.
Big hit, flag down at the very end of the play, and an injured player for Texas Tech.
Now, an NCAA committee has approved a rule designed to stop that. If medical personnel go onto the field to evaluate a player with an apparent injury, after the ball is spotted for the next play, that player's team will be charged a timeout. If the team has no timeouts remaining, a 5-yard delay of game penalty will be assessed. Jim Crisilda, CBS News.
A new survey finds that endangered sea turtles show signs of recovery in a majority of places where they're found worldwide. Scientists measured the impacts of threats such as hunting, pollution, and climate change. In more than half of the areas studied, threats are declining overall. However, sea turtle populations in the Atlantic Ocean are more likely to be recovering than those in the Pacific waters. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't.
Don't tell me I'm trying to steal from me. Why'd he cut it off? Where the hell is this?
Experience on Spotify and Pandora. For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience. feel that your health is your wealth. Thriving is more important than just surviving, and the only thing lost are those unwanted pounds. This is Healthy Talk Radio that helps you get well, stay well, and live well. Lines are open, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. What are you struggling with? Let's talk about it. Your health, your life. Remember, if the body can get sick, it can also get well. Lifestyle is the medicine. So the choices that we make every single day can and will determine the kind of health we're going to have. So we want to help you. No matter what you're struggling with, we want to see you live your potential. Why? Because you have an amazing potential. And a lot of times people don't tap into it. Matter of fact, most people don't tap into it. They don't live the life they were designed to live, the life that they could live. And really the greatest life comes down to you maximizing everything that God's given you so you can do great things. It is true. 888-283-7272. Go to myfreehealthbook.com. If you haven't picked up a free copy of our best-selling book, it's a hard copy. We'll send it to you for free. I just decided to do that, help, encourage people. All you got to do is cover the shipping. There's a little bit of cost there to get it to you, but we'll cover the book. We pay for it. It's almost a $30 book. We just send it to you for free. And we want to see you live better. And it's got the tools in there that really will take you from where you are in your current state of health to where you need to be. Let's kick off and go with Allison. Hi, Allison.
I'm dealing with dry eye. I'm 35, and it's degenerative. And I also was recently diagnosed with Lyme disease. And I have Epstein-Barr. I had mono at one point.
Yeah, that's a whole different deal. And when you've got dry eye, many times, a lot of times it just seems like it's random, but it's not. And you want to get a test done for fatty acids. There's different types. There's the omega-3, 6, and 9 fatty acids. You get those checked out. See what the balance is and the ratios. A lot of times there's such a severe omega-3 deficiency that's where the dry eye comes from. And when you get on heavy amounts of fish oil or cod liver oil, it really begins to change that. And a lot of times the skin conditions that we deal with are omega-3 deficiencies as well. So they really go hand in hand. The dry eye and the fatty acids are almost, they dance together. So I would get it checked out. We get a blood test done. If you can't find one, just touch base with our provider team, and we can easily help you get one there in your area. Pretty simple. It's a simple test, but it gives you great information. Plus, you can see trans fat levels in the blood and see exactly what's in the cells to see what you need. And dry eye is just not some weird genetic thing. It's definitely nutritionally related, and the body is not getting something that it needs. So I would look at those tests in that way, or have someone look at those tests so that way you can know exactly what's going on. Okay? And please keep us posted. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. I'm Asa, your host. Check us out on the web. Go to asarx.com. It is a prescription, really, the RX, to help you live better. We want to see you live better and see you thrive in everything that you're doing. You have potential. You got to tap into it. That's what this thing is all about. All right, what about nuts? Almonds, cashews, walnuts, macadamia nuts. Those are my favorite. Well, if you like them, it doesn't seem, and you think, well, they're going to put a bunch of weight on you. Well, there's probably a new way of looking at it now. So they looked at nut consumption, and they found that it can actually cut your risk of death. This is a 1 ounce serving each day, showed a 20% reduced risk of dying from any cause over 3 decades. So we looked at nut consumption. They said 119,000 Americans over the past 30 years. Dr. Charles Fuchs, who's done this study, it's a study that was done by the U.S. National Institutes of Health and, of course, the International Tree Nut Council, Nutrition Research. I didn't even know there was such a thing. But it was all published in the New England Journal of Medicine. Nuts are nutrient-dense foods, according to certain information, unsaturated fatty acids, fiber, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Well, previous research has linked nut consumption to a lower risk of heart disease, as well as improvements in the risk factors for heart disease, like high cholesterol, according to the study. Well, researchers looked at how nut consumption might affect all causes of death, as well as whether nuts were linked to death risk from specific conditions like heart disease. But the study concluded that more than 76,000 women from Nurses Health Study and more than 42,000 men from the health professionals' follow-up study, anyone with a history of heart disease, stroke, or cancer was excluded from the study. Nut consumption was verified in the study, and they looked at it, but the researchers said at the bottom line, we know that over a 30-year study, people who had or ate nuts on a regular basis, at least 1 ounce, kind of like a handful, cut the risk of dying. So pretty amazing to see that. Eating more nuts was linked to a low risk of death due to cancer, heart disease, and respiratory disease. A new study uncovered the association between eating nuts and living longer, but it didn't prove cause and effect. Just so you know, they always have that. So the serving size for 1 ounce is usually about 16 to 24 almonds, 16 to 18 cashews, or about 30 to 35 peanuts. So people who ate nuts tended to be healthier overall, according to the study. They were leaner, had lower rates of obesity, had lower cholesterol, had less high blood sugar, and had smaller waist circumferences, ate more fruits and vegetables, and exercised more than people who ate fewer or no nuts. So Fuchsia and his team controlled the data to account for these factors. And one expert said that people who are eating nuts aren't eating instead is also important. Study adds to the research that nuts are part of an overall healthful diet, especially if you're choosing to have nuts instead of chips or candy. I totally agree. I mean, people say, well, I want to stay away from the chips and all of that, and you go for the nuts, but then you continue to crave the junk food. Go ahead and get the sea salted nuts. They make those, it's not that much. And when you do the salted nuts, again, sea salted, not roasted with oil, can't do those. But they have natural organic nuts that are, the way they're processed and produced, they just have some sea salt with them. But that salt really does cut the craving for like French fries and chips. It brings in that same level of satiety that you need. And so it really does. It makes a big difference. So a lot of times I'll say, if you're really, really hungry, grab a handful of like almonds or cashews or macadamia nuts and eat them. Wait about 5 minutes, and you'll notice you're not hungry at all. And a lot of times the body craves fat because we don't eat enough. We really don't, because we got freaked out in the 80s and 90s about fat because it was like high carb, low fat, and now we're in a diabetes crisis because of that nonsense. But I would just encourage you, though, that nuts are great. And it's something that we use, I use and implement every single day in my eating routine. We do it in our coaching systems with all of our clients around the country. Our providers that are in our local areas, they use them in their protocols as well. It's just, it's unless you're allergic to them, it's a given. It's something you should have every single day. Really makes a big difference. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Lines are open. Give us a call or go to the website. Go to asarx.com. Now, coming up, we've got some more questions about your health we're going to jump into. And don't forget, get a copy of my free book. Go to myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com. It's my hard copy bestseller. We're going to send it to you for free, absolutely free, to be a gift to you, $30 value. And all you got to do is cover a little bit of shipping. We want to see you live better than you ever have.
Hi, it's Asa here. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Do you need a new prescription for your life? I have a special gift for all my listeners. I'm giving away a free copy of my international best-selling book to help you truly live your potential. All you have to do is cover the shipping and handling, and I will give you the book absolutely free. I want to invest in you and your health this year. Hi, Dr. Asa here to talk about MyPillow. We all know the importance of getting a good night's rest, and the pillow you use is vital for the optimal sleep that you need. That's why MyPillow is my top choice. No more tossing and turning all night long. With MyPillow, you'll get the most restful sleep you've ever experienced. Listen, since I started using MyPillow, my sleep has improved dramatically. I sleep all night long, and I wake up even more ready to take on the day. No caffeine for Dr. Asa, just a great night's rest with MyPillow, and I'm ready to go. Get the best sleep of your life with MyPillow. Visit mypillow.com/Dr. Asa and enter promo code Dr. Asa. That's all one word for the promo code. It's DRASA. That's Dr. Asa to get huge discounts discounts on all MyPillow products. Go to mypillow.com/Dr. Asa and be sure to use the promo code Dr. Asa to get the MyPillow Queen Size Special for only $19.98. That's mypillow.com/Dr. Asa. MyPillow is an absolute sleep game changer. It's Dr. Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you with your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com. Yes, I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you live stronger, longer. Remember, I'll pay for the book. All you do is cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to myfreehealthbook.com. That's myfreehealthbook.com and get your free book today.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-885-3555. That's 800-885-3555. Again, that's 800-885-3555.
Hello, this is Steve Keeker, President of Senior Care Consulting. I'm so excited to announce that we are expanding nationwide by awarding senior care consulting franchises. We help our clients find the right senior care community, including assisted living, memory care, long-term care, and continuing care retirement communities. We are not another run-of-the-mill free referral service. We're very different. We offer a placement service with integrity. Owning a senior care consulting franchise offers many benefits. Our market is not affected by the economy. Operate from your home office and enjoy work-life balance. Pour your passion into a business you can be proud of. For more information about owning a senior care consulting franchise, call 833-722-3726, 833-722-3726, or visit seniorcareconsulting.com.
Listen as students and young adults interview well-respected CEOs on our national radio show, realworldleaders.org, to learn secrets for success and how to use them to propel their careers.
You value integrity a lot, and I think that's one of the things that business people or just business in general lack in, and that's one of the things that I kind of avoided. I feel like I've always avoided going into creating my own business because most of the businesses out there lack integrity where I kind of value it, and I see that you can still have integrity and create your own business. I think that's really great. It's a good kind of example that there's still integrity out there.
All right, Joe, he teed you up perfectly for it.
Kevin, I'm going to say to you this and to everyone on this phone, just do it. Take risks. Go. Have fun. If you have a belief and you stand for the right thing, do it.
To hear more and to help us introduce your high school, GED, work-ready, and college students to our CEOs, visit our website at realworldleaders.org. That's realworldleaders.org.
Yeah, it cut the radio station cut the $10,000. Wow. Credit. Yeah, not surprising, eh?
To find out more, connect with On-Call Radio online at
educationnetwork.com. I'm sure they already know.
End of number 79, Thursday, April 17, 2025, 9:22 p.m. New York time.